We just got some good news that when talking about the All-Star game, there actually might be one this year. According to Adrian Woj, the NBA and NBA players are actually talking about it right now, talking about creating an All-Star team even if somehow there isn't an All-Star game. And with today being January 28th, the first day where you can start voting for your NBA Western Conference All-Stars, I feel like right now is the perfect time to predict our All-Stars. For this video, we're going to be predicting the Western Conference All-Star team. I'll be honest guys, making this list wasn't easy. There are a lot of stars in the Western Conference, but ultimately, these 12 players is the roster that I believe should be the All-Stars. I'm going to be showing you guys my East All-Star predictions in my next video, so stay tuned for that. But quickly, before I get on with the video, I just want to say, if you're new to the channel and love basketball, welcome to Easy Buckets. My name is Soom, and I make basketball videos literally every single day, so be sure to hit the subscribe button and click this button right here, the post notification bell, to not miss any of my upcoming videos. If you watched this video and you loved it, be sure to smash that thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. It would help out the channel a lot. But without wasting any more time, let's talk about the Western Conference All-Stars. Before this season started, NBA fans were given the news that we must be ready just in case the NBA ultimately does not have an All-Star game, All-Star weekend, or even an All-Star team. But after getting some good news recently, NBA fans are now relieved because the possibility of seeing our favorite players in action, it's slowly in the works. According to Adrian Wojnarowski, on January 25th at 5:11 p.m., this is what he tweeted. ESPN sources, the NBA and the MB Players Association are discussing scenarios to still hold an All-Star game in March. One site under discussion is Atlanta, home of Turner Sports. That idea includes providing support of HBCUs and COVID-19 relief. Story soon on site. After this report came out, it was announced that even if they don't have an All-Star game in March, they're still going to create the All-Star teams to recognize the best players in their respective conferences. Which is the whole idea of my video for today, talking about the All-Stars, specifically the Western Conference. I'll keep it real with you guys, creating the Western Conference All-Star list was kind of easier than the Eastern Conference list because this season, a lot of the best Western Conference players actually went to the Eastern Conference. So the 12 players that I'm about to list for the Western Conference All-Stars, it's a no-brainer. I don't think anybody else will replace these 12. The first player on this All-Star team is the point guard of the West, and that's going to be Luka Doncic of the Dallas Mavericks, and I believe Luka being a starter is a no-brainer. He's going to be the starter for the next decade. Luka Doncic was a first-time All-Star last season in his second year in the NBA, and right now with Luka having an MVP season, I wouldn't see a reason why not. He wouldn't be in the starters once again. If you look at Luka's stats right now, he's averaging 27.4 points per game, 9.4 rebounds, 9.7 assists, 1.1 steals, shooting better than he did last year with 47% field goal and shooting better at the free throw line at 77%. Luka Doncic is putting up better numbers than he did last season already. During the NBA season so far, the Dallas Mavericks have been struggling because of the multiple players that's been hit with COVID, but now with everybody healthy, I do see the Dallas Mavericks being a contender in the Western Conference this year. A scary fact to know is that Luka is only in his third season in the NBA, which only means he's just gonna keep getting better and better. The next player on this list is going to be the starting shooting guard for the West, and that is Stephen Curry of the Golden State Warriors. And we all know for a fact that Stephen Curry, returning to the NBA this season, he's going to easily be a Western Conference All-Star. After losing Klay Thompson this year, a lot of NBA fans didn't believe that the Warriors would be contenders at all. They were actually projecting the Warriors to be one of the worst teams in the Western Conference. But as of right now, the Warriors are the 6th seed, having a record of 10-8. Stephen Curry's stats alone speaks for itself. He's averaging 27.7 points, 5.5 rebounds, 6.1 assists, 1.2 steals, shooting a total of 45% at the field goal, making 4 3-point shots a game. Stephen Curry is back to his MVP form. With James Harden being sent from the West to the East, this starting shooting guard spot is a no-brainer to Steph. Nobody else could beat him here. The next All-Star is somebody I don't even have to introduce, and that is going to be LeBron James at the starting small forward. And I'm going to see LeBron James will 100% be the All-Star captain once again, 4 years in a row now. It's funny because every start of the NBA season, everybody always counts out LeBron, saying LeBron's getting old, he's gonna get worse, he's gonna stop trying, his production level is gonna decrease. But guys, LeBron at the age of 36 this year is literally showing us no signs of stopping. He's one of the best players in the NBA and is currently leading the Lakers with the second best record. The Lakers have a record of 14-5, and honestly, I don't see LeBron James stopping anytime soon. As of right now, LeBron James is averaging 25.6 points per game, 7.8 rebounds, 7.3 assists, and putting up almost the exact same numbers as last year, except his assist has kind of decreased. LeBron is the face of the NBA, and ever since joining the Western Conference, he becomes the face of that conference as well, and I see him being an all-star, having the most votes out of everybody, which is normal and usual. Ever since the All-Star game became a drafting aspect, LeBron James has never lost, and let's see if he can keep his streak going this year. At the starting power forward this year, I'm going to have to give that spot to Paul George of the Clippers, and I know a lot of you Clipper fans would say that Kawhi Leonard should be on that list, but I don't know. I feel like Paul George this season for the Clippers has stepped up more than Kawhi. Right now, the Clippers are the 3rd seed in the Western Conference. They actually almost have the same record as the Lakers with 13-5, except the Lakers have one more win than them. After a horrible postseason last year of Paul George, playoff P, Paul George said that this year he's going to be back and better. And from his numbers, he actually is back. He's averaging 24 points per game, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 1.2 steals a game. All his numbers in all categories have gotten better. It's a tough call to say whether Kawhi Leonard or Paul George should be at that starting power forward position, but in my opinion, I'm giving the nod to Paul George. And the starting center for the Western Conference is a no-brainer this year, and that's Nikola Jokic of the Denver Nuggets, and he's having an amazing breakout season. As we speak, the Denver Nuggets are as competitive as usual, and Nikola Jokic is at the top of the MVP race right now. He's averaging better numbers in all aspects as he did last season. He's averaging 25 points per game, 11.8 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block. Nikola Jokic is all over the place, especially when it comes to being impactful for an NBA roster. There is no center in the Western Conference that will match Nikola Jokic right now, and he making the list is a no-brainer. The fact that Nikola Jokic is entering his prime right now and is still young, the Denver Nuggets have a bright future. And a center averaging 25, 11, and 9 in this modern NBA game, Nikola Jokic is the only one. I am super happy for Nikola Jokic. He's going to be a first-time All-Star starter this season. And now we're going to be talking about the 7 players that will be the Western Conference reserves, and I'm just going to go straight into it. The first player is Anthony Davis, and this is a no-brainer. This year, Anthony Davis definitely took a step back in the Lakers rotation and in the Lakers production. LeBron James is still the #1 option, and getting Montrezl Harrell, Marc Gasol, and Dennis Schroeder definitely lowered Anthony Davis, his usage and also his points per game. And that's why this year, I see Nikola Jokic being better than him when it comes to making the All-Star starters. But Anthony Davis, to me, is still a Western Conference All-Star. He's the first one off the bench. The next player on this list is Kawhi Leonard. He was also an NBA All-Star starter last season for the Clippers. But as I mentioned earlier, I believe it's going to be either between Paul George or Kawhi Leonard. And for this season, I'm giving the edge to Paul George. When it comes to the best player on the Clippers, I do believe Kawhi is still the better player overall. But let's give Paul George a start for once. Kawhi Leonard is the 7th player on the Western Conference. The next All-Star on this list is a no-brainer, and that's Damian Lillard of the Portland Trail Blazers. Damian Lillard, season after season, puts up the same numbers. He's as consistent and loyal as it comes. And right now at the Portland Trail Blazers, losing Jusuf Nurkic and CJ McCollum, Dame once again is in the spotlight to step up to be the Portland Trail Blazers go-to guy. And with that, him being an All-Star reserve, it's a no-brainer. Honestly, I hope one day Dame becomes an All-Star starter, but I don't see him going over Stephen Curry or LUKA Doncic right now. The next player on this list is Rudy Gobert of the Utah Jazz, and as I make this video, Rudy Gobert is putting up monster numbers. He's averaging 13 points, 14 rebounds, and 3 blocks per game. Rudy Gobert is back to his old self. Right now, with the Utah Jazz being the 1st seed in the NBA and the 1st seed in the Western Conference with a record of 14-4, I believe Rudy Gobert, who is the defensive anchor and the pillar of the Utah Jazz, should be an All-Star. The next All-Star on this list is Brandon Ingram of the Pelicans. And guys, Ingram was an All-Star last year, and this season, with him being the most improved player last year, I do see him getting the nod to be the All-Star this year once again. Brandon Ingram is currently putting up better numbers as he did last year. He's averaging 24 points per game, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and with the future of the Pelicans being in Brandon Ingram's hands, Brandon Ingram is just gonna keep getting better. The next All-Star on this list is Donovan Mitchell, and he's in the exact same situation as Rudy Gobert. He is the main scorer on the Utah Jazz, who has the best record in the NBA and the Western Conference, and with that, I see Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell both being on the All-Star team this year. Donovan Mitchell is doing exactly what he does every single year. He's putting up dynamic monster scoring offensive numbers. He's averaging 24 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists. And with him being the captain and leading the Utah Jazz to success, Donovan's future is surely bright. And the last All-Star on this list is a fan favorite, our favorite second-year player, Zion Williamson. He's going to be a first-time All-Star this year. As of right now, Zion Williamson is putting up better numbers than he did last year. Of course, his rookie season wasn't really the best. He didn't even win Rookie of the Year. But with him averaging 24 points per game right now, 7.5 rebounds, 1.9 assists, and shooting a total of 60% at the field goal line, Zion Williamson is the best at the power forward position right now in the West. Zion is super young. He's only going to get better. And this season, I wouldn't be surprised if he makes the All-Star cut. But ultimately, guys, this wraps up my video for today on the 12 All-Stars that I believe should make the All-Star team this year for the Western Conference. This is the full list. Look at it. This is my prediction. What's most important to me is what are your thoughts? Are these 12 All-Stars the right picks? Are these the right choices? Or are there any other players that you believe should replace any of these Western Conference players? Put your thoughts in the comment section down below. But other than that, take it easy. God bless. And I'll see you all next time on Easy Buckets. Woo!